I wanted to say something about overwhelm. And when I look around in the world right now, and I look at the experience of my friends and my family and my loved ones and acquaintances and neighbors and everything, the experience that I see expressed most is overwhelm. And overwhelm doesn't matter who you are. How we experience overwhelm is kind of a common experience for human beings. You could be 5 years old, you could be 105 years old. It doesn't really matter how fancy of a person you are in terms of your philosophy or your spirituality or your psychology or whatever. You could be rich, you could be poor, anything. Overwhelm has this, overwhelming quality. We all get it. We all know it. And we know that in that moment, we don't feel like we're in control very much anymore. And it's painful. It's a painful moment, right? Ugh, you can feel it. And what I wanted to say today was something that doesn't get said very much. And this comes from the mindful communication teachings of Susan Chapman. And this is that overwhelm isn't just about what's happening on the outside. Because, things happen on the outside. We don't always experience them as overwhelm. What's overwhelming to one person is actually really great for somebody else. A death metal concert, right? Or, for myself, I love to rock climb, right? So being 1,000 feet up on the edge of a cliff isn't overwhelming to me. That's actually soothing to me. And obviously that's not true for everybody. For me, being in the ocean with big waves is terrifying, but for some people that's their favorite thing to do. And whatever it is, stepping up on stage and singing, or, there's all these, ways in which we understand it's not about what's on the outside exactly. It's something we do ourselves. And what we do ourselves often has to do with self-attack and self-aggression. That in fact, this is the hidden secret signature of overwhelm, is that we turn on ourselves and we start to question, kind of wordlessly, it's sort of an impulse. We just start to question our own decency. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm having such a huge experience. There must be something wrong with me. And I want to point to that experience, that is the biggest, most painful aspect of overwhelm. What happens on the outside can happen. I mean, we have fear. Naturally, we have fear. If you're on the street and a car is skidding towards you, you should have fear. I hope you do. But that's the thing, is that's different. That's different than what we're talking about. We're talking about this thing where we suddenly turn on ourselves, and it could be as simple as dropping a cup and breaking it. And, you've already lost your cup. But suddenly you actually turn on yourself and you say, God, I'm such an idiot. What's wrong with me? And we don't just mean, I shouldn't have dropped it, or I should have been a little more paying more attention or something like that. What hurts in that moment is that it feels like a very deep questioning of our own decency. That is really what we need to examine. That's what makes overwhelm so terrifying. It's not what happens on the outside necessarily. That's part of it, but really it's this inside jab. We're already in fear. We're already feeling overwhelmed externally. But then we kick ourselves when we're down. It's really a gruesome moment. And for many of us, it's a very normal moment. Let's be honest. We do these things. We actually do go after ourselves. We can be incredibly unkind to ourselves, about the most absurd things sometimes. It's very unconscious. We could be unkind to ourselves that we're not being more compassionate. That's a good one. right? You know, God, I'm such an idiot. I should be more compassionate. I mean, think about that for a moment, right? So this is not a conscious process. This is not an intellectual choice. This is a kind of retrained reflex of kicking ourselves when we're down. So we have to learn how to unwind that process. And I just want to encourage you that unwinding that process is not going to happen by putting yourself under more pressure. You know, pressuring ourselves is actually part of the problem, not part of the solution. So, self-kindness, I would say, please be even more kind to yourself as you explore that. And look at these moments. Find a safe space where you feel more relaxed, where you can look into things like this. It might even be something you just do by yourself in a journal. It might be with a very, very trusted friend. And it might be something you do through art, or who knows how, or just through contemplation while you're jogging or something, right? Look into these moments. Not about why was I an idiot for dropping the cup, but why did I call myself an idiot? What is the root beneath that? And I think there's a way through there. There's actually a vision of change that's possible.